There is a moment every man feels in his chest, like a deep crack forming under the surface. A moment when she asks a question so gentle yet so deadly that it exposes every hidden feeling she buried long before she said it. She looks at you with a softness that feels unfamiliar, almost distant, and she asks, "Do you really think you're the man I need?" And right then your stomach drops, because this is not curiosity. This is a confession wrapped as a question. A sign that her heart already drifted miles away while you were still holding on. Women never ask this question when they admire you. They never ask this when they respect you. They ask it when something inside them shifts quietly, when admiration fades, when disappointment settles, when comparisons take root, and you feel something cold pass through you, because deep down you know this moment didn't start today. It started the day she stopped seeing you the way she once did. The truth is brutal but clean. She is not asking for reassurance. She is checking her exit strategy. She is testing how lost you are. She is confirming whether the man she once admired is still in front of her, or just a memory she clings to out of habit. The Stoics taught that clarity is born the moment illusion dies, and that question is the death of illusion. It is the moment you realize she is no longer emotionally beside you, and you face a choice: either chase her fading approval or reclaim the respect you lost within yourself. Because a man who begs loses dignity, but a man who stays grounded becomes untouchable. This is the beginning of your story, not the end, because once she asks that question, she unknowingly reveals her truth, and you must now reveal yours. Before she ever asks the question, she sends signals, quiet ones, subtle ones, signals men often ignore because they want to believe things are still good. But the shift always starts with tone. The softness fades, the warmth thins, her voice grows colder, shorter, almost transactional, and you convince yourself she is stressed or tired, but what you are really seeing is the slow withdrawal of respect. A woman doesn't distance herself because she stopped loving you. She distances herself because she stopped believing in you, and that difference is everything. Love can exist without admiration, but admiration cannot exist without respect. And once respect decays, her heart begins backing away even while her body stays near. She starts asking questions loaded with hidden meaning, questions designed to test your confidence, your purpose, your masculinity, but she words them gently to protect her own guilt. When she asks if you are the man she needs, she is not looking for reassurance. She is seeking confirmation that her emotional exit is justified. This is the moment men often react wrong. They panic, they over-explain, they chase, they try to fix everything in one breath, and by doing so they prove her unspoken belief that he is no longer the grounded man she once respected. But Stoicism teaches something sharper. Hold your center when the world tries to shake it, because a woman who loses respect responds to weakness with more distance, but responds to strength with reconsideration. When her tone changes, when her questions deepen, understand this is not the beginning of the end. This is the moment when the real you must show up. Women detach long before they announce it. Their hearts move in silence while their behavior changes in whispers, and men rarely notice because men feel lost suddenly while women feel it gradually. She begins pulling away internally while still appearing physically present, and you mistake her quiet for peace when it is really preparation. She loses enthusiasm in conversations, delays her responses, stops sharing her inner world, laughs less, sighs more, and seems mentally elsewhere even when she sits beside you. And you try to fix these moments with logic, reassurance, solutions, but what you are really witnessing is the emotional shift she has been wrestling with for months. By the time she asks if you are the man she needs, she has already rehearsed leaving. She has already debated the decision. She has imagined her life without you, and though she hasn't walked away yet, her heart already has a foot out the door. Men struggle with this because they invest deeply but slowly. They notice change when it becomes unbearable, while women notice change the moment admiration slips. Once she stops admiring you, her emotional connection begins dissolving quietly. Stoicism says a man must not fear truth, for truth gives him power, and here is your truth. Her shift is not your punishment. It is your signal, not to chase her, but to return to yourself, because a man anchored in purpose becomes a man who cannot be discarded lightly. The emotional shift is where many men break, but it is also where strong men awaken. When she asks the question, the betrayal is not in the words, it is in the timing, because she asks it after she already decided her heart is halfway gone. She asks it after she already compared you to the fantasy version she built in her mind. She asks it after she rehearsed leaving but chose to test you first to soothe her guilt. She did not bring you into her doubts. She carried them alone. She did not share her frustrations. She let them rot quietly. She did not tell you she felt disconnected. She simply disconnected further. And when she finally speaks, it is not to rebuild, but to confirm her exit. Men feel blindsided because they live in the present, but women leave emotionally in chapters. And her question is the final chapter, the moment she reveals the truth she has been keeping in silence. But betrayal in Stoicism is not an attack, it is a mirror, showing you where you abandoned your own standards, your own discipline, your own presence. Maybe you stopped leading, maybe you became predictable, maybe you slipped into comfort, and she noticed long before you did. Her question is painful, yes, but it is also a gift, because it exposes the truth behind the illusion. And a man who sees truth clearly becomes unstoppable, not in love, but in life. This silent betrayal is not the end of your story. It is the rise of your awareness. Respect is the oxygen of attraction. Once it runs out, the relationship suffocates slowly, quietly, inevitably. Love can survive arguments, stress, flaws, imperfections, but respect cannot survive inconsistency, weakness, or self-abandonment. She loved you, yes, but she stopped admiring who you were becoming. A woman loses respect not when you fail, but when you stop trying, not when you stumble, but when you accept mediocrity, not when you are imperfect, but when you abandon the mission that once made you magnetic. She didn't fall for you because you were perfect. She fell because you were driven, grounded, decisive, and alive, and when those traits faded, so did her respect. By the time she asks if you are the man she needs, she already believes you are not. She is not looking for your answer. She is looking for emotional permission to leave. But here is the Stoic truth. Respect can leave, but self-respect can return stronger than ever. And the loss of her admiration becomes the spark that reignites your identity, your edge, your ambition, and your masculine core. There comes a moment after her question when the shock wears off and you finally see what was hidden the whole time. You realize you were loving her with your whole heart while she was slowly questioning if you were still the man she chose. And this moment forces you to confront a truth most men never learn until they're broken. Women stop respecting men long before they stop needing them, and men stop respecting themselves long before they realize they've given their power away. Male psychology is simple but brutal. A man who abandons his mission becomes dependent on her validation. And the moment she senses that shift, admiration collapses. She begins testing you not to hurt you, but to confirm what she already feels, that you lost your edge, your drive, your fire. And the second you start centering your life around her reactions instead of your purpose, the dynamic flips and you become the one seeking approval instead of the one leading with presence. Men learn the hard way that respect comes from self-command, not from pleasing her, not from fixing every emotion she has, not from bending to prevent conflict. A man is respected when his life has direction, when his actions reflect discipline, when his standards remain unshaken even under pressure. Stoicism teaches that a man must control what is his and release what is not. Her emotions are not yours, her loss of respect is not yours, but your response is, your direction is, your identity is. The moment she doubts you, you must rise back into your purpose, not to win her, but to win yourself, because a man who stands firm becomes a man no one walks away from easily. This is the secret men learn too late. Disrespect does not destroy you, it awakens you. There is a shift inside you when the heartbreak settles and the confusion fades, a moment when you stop asking why she lost respect and start asking why you let yourself slip. And that shift becomes the turning point of your entire life. This is where weak men break but stoic men ascend. This is where chasing ends and rising begins. When she pulls away, your instinct may be to chase, to explain, to fight for her approval, but every step toward her is a step away from yourself. And she feels it. The more desperate you become, the more certain she becomes that she was right to lose respect. Desire cannot revive where admiration has died. A stoic man steps back instead of forward. He breathes instead of reacts. He observes instead of clings. He lets distance reveal the truth instead of forcing connection. And this calm, grounded response does something powerful. It restores the very energy she once admired, the energy of a man who is complete with or without her. Your turning point happens the moment you stop negotiating your worth and start embodying it, the moment you stop explaining yourself and start improving yourself, the moment you stop focusing on her emotional storm and start stabilizing your own foundation. And here's the irony, the moment you stop chasing her respect is the moment she feels the weight of losing it. The masculine shift she doubted suddenly reappears, not for her, but for you, and that is what changes everything. This is where your comeback begins, quietly but powerfully. When a woman questions your value, it feels like a punch straight to the core because men tie identity to responsibility, to purpose, to providing, and when she suggests you're not enough, something inside you collapses for a moment. But here is the part most men never learn. Her loss of respect does not reflect your worth, it reflects your misalignment. You were not weak, you were distracted, you were not unworthy, you were unfocused, you were not undesirable, you were uncentered, and self-worth does not return by demanding her admiration back. It returns when you rebuild the parts of yourself you abandoned while trying to keep the relationship alive. Start with discipline, rebuild your body, your habits, your environment, remove distractions, strengthen your purpose, regain control of your time and your energy. Remind yourself that a man becomes magnetic not by being available but by being driven, not by being emotionally reactive but by being emotionally composed. Restore your standards, the ones you lowered to avoid conflict, the ones you softened to keep her comfortable, the ones you ignored to keep the peace. Stand back in them like armor, because a man without standards becomes a man without identity. Stoicism teaches that a man finds peace not from being loved but from being aligned. And when you realign with purpose, your self-worth returns naturally, powerfully, unshakably, and you will reach a point where you realize something profound. Her loss of respect hurt you, but it also freed you to rebuild yourself stronger than you ever were. This is your rebirth, not for her, but for you. Once you go through the pain of hearing her question, once you feel that drop in your chest, once you witness her emotional distance, you learn lessons that stay with you for life. These become the boundaries a Stoic man never ignores again. He never ignores his mission, because purpose protects his masculinity. He never ignores disrespect, because early signs reveal future heartbreak. He never ignores emotional withdrawal, because distance speaks louder than excuses. He never ignores his own intuition, because it always sensed the truth before he admitted it. A Stoic man watches actions, not words, tone, not excuses, effort, not promises. He understands that love is emotional but respect is structural. And once the structure cracks, he must reinforce himself, not the relationship, because if he strengthens her comfort while weakening his identity, the collapse becomes inevitable. He never abandons the habits that make him strong. He never gives up his time, his goals, or his discipline to maintain someone else's comfort. And he never allows his value to be questioned by someone who has forgotten their own. These are the lessons earned in the fire, lessons he carries into every relationship and every chapter of life. And because of them, he becomes a man who will never be taken for granted again. There comes a moment after all the confusion, heartbreak, and silence when you finally breathe again. When you realize her question was not your downfall, it was your awakening. Because the man you become after disrespect is a man forged in clarity, discipline, and unshakable self-worth. She asked if you were the man she needed, but life was really asking if you were the man you needed. The man who leads himself, the man who respects himself, the man who stands strong with or without her approval. And once you rise into that version of yourself, you stop fearing loss and start attracting what is truly meant for you. You are not broken, you are rebuilding, you are not rejected, you are redirected. And every step you take now brings you closer to the man you were always meant to be. If this message hit your chest, if it spoke your truth, if it reminded you of your worth, drop your thoughts in the comments or simply write "done." Support your brothers by sharing this video. And if you want more daily Stoic wisdom, subscribe to Stoic Spark and hit the bell icon so you never miss the insights that shape stronger men. Your story doesn't end with her losing respect. It begins with you gaining your own.